Luca. In the summer circa 1959, timid sea monster child Luca Paguro herds goatfish off the coast of the Italian town of Portorosso. His parents forbid him from approaching the surface, fearing that he might be hunted by humans. One day, Luca meets Alberto Scorfano, a fellow sea monster child who lives alone in an abandoned tower on dry land. When Alberto encourages Luca to venture out of the ocean, he finds out that sea monsters turn into humans, as long as they are dry. Luca begins sneaking out to meet Alberto and they become friends, wishing to own a Vespa and travel around the world. Upon discovering their son's actions, Luca's parents decide to send him to live in the deep with his uncle. In retaliation, Luca runs away with Alberto to hide out in Portorosso. The boys run afoul of Ercole Visconti, the local bully and 5-time champion of the Portorosso Cup, a triathlon of swimming, pasta eating, and biking. When Ercole tries to soak Luca in a fountain, Giulia Marcovaldo, a young girl, stops him. In hopes of winning the money needed for a Vespa, the boys team up with Giulia for the triathlon. Giulia invites them to stay at her house and introduces her fisherman father, Massimo, who holds grudges towards sea monsters. Meanwhile, Luca's parents infiltrate the town to find their son. Giulia and Luca bond over the love of learning, making Alberto jealous. When Luca shows interest in attending school, Alberto intentionally reveals his sea monster form to Giulia to prevent it. Unwilling to give himself up, Luca feigns surprise to be with Giulia, and a betrayed Alberto flees as Ercole's gang show up and try to hunt him. Heartbroken, Alberto trashes everything in his hiding place. Shortly after, Giulia finds out that Luca is a sea monster as well, and sends him away for his safety. Luca heads to Alberto's hiding place in an effort to reconcile with him, and learns that he was abandoned by his father long ago. Though Alberto declines to participate in the triathlon, Luca promises to win the Vespa to rebuild their friendship. The triathlon begins with Luca and Giulia competing separately. Luca successfully completes the swimming race and pasta eating contest without revealing himself, but rain begins during the bike race. Alberto shows up to give him an umbrella, but Ercole knocks him to the wet ground, exposing his sea monster form, much to everyone's horror. Luca this time helps him, albeit revealing himself as well.